Leave that for a second. Hopefully, everything looks okay. Doesn't look like I'm dropping any frames or anything, so let's hit it. I was ready. I enjoyed that insta-pop. I want to go. Alright, we got mid. We're probably going to end up going Aurora, but if I see a Sylas angle, I want to play some Sylas. I saw, what was it, Griffin? Not Fly Griffin, some other Griffin. Posted a Roa Monomoon build. And I had my concerns with it, but I also thought that there was some merit to it as well. You get a lot of damage from the Monomoon passive on pretty much everything except your ultimate. True. It is ranked. This is Jerry. Jerry Soraka. Definitely doesn't make it a better Sylas game. That makes it a better Sylas game. Let's see. We do have 80 top and 80 bot. Let's see what ults we can get here. But melee, very good with Sedge. It's a little bit disjointed with our bot lane. But if I can get some neat ults. I mean, Zeri is not terrible. Soraka, you're always just gonna have worse than enemy Soraka. I feel like, you know, maybe I prefer if they take a dodge though. Then.
No more cages.
How am I going? I guess I want haste because Ro is low haste. Is this even right? We go this, double adaptive is fine. I should go move speed. We'll go one move speed. This is fine for 6th sense. Yeah. We'll try to do our nice little 1 trade. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, well, they ended up giving us a very, very good ulti. We were not to have pretty much any good ultis. We ended up with an extremely good ult. Swain is one of the best Sylas ults there is. So we're incredibly happy with that. How did you know what boots he's going? Well, we're probably not going Sork shoes. We have a lot of health, I guess. So maybe we'll go... No, we're not going Merc Treads or anything. We'll probably just end up going Lucidities here. We're Sylas, right? And the thing I want to try that the guy in the video that I saw that he didn't do with the Sylas build was Actualizer. I think Actualizer has to be good on this build, right? You have a lot of mana. The haste is good. It improves your healing on Sylas, and obviously it's going to improve your damage. It doesn't matter when you press it because it doesn't reduce, it doesn't like give you CDR or something when you press Actualizer. It increases the progression speed of your cooldowns. So you can press it at any point. So that's the build we're going to be trying. Roa, I guess I'll have to get a tier early. We're gonna have tier with Roa. Our one item might be weak. Hopefully our 2 item is good. So we're gonna be Roa, Monomoon. Oof, to be honest. But maybe it's good. Maybe we'll feel just fine, right? We'll see what happens. I don't know what you'd go after the actualizer. He tends to think that either going tank or going bruiser is the best. I guess we'll see. On the Cassidy build, you can either go like Frozen Heart or like another tier item. So maybe that's an option. Ceres is probably not the worst with it. Ceres Force has to be troll, right? Surely you just get higher value items than that when you're going this build. Riftmaker seems lower value with low HP though. Well, no, you have Roa, right? But you have nothing on Actualizer or anything else. What do you end up with? Pen, I guess? But you have a lot of AD damage from your Monomoon. I don't know, it's kind of tough. Maybe that's why he goes tank. It's just hard to be as effective with the AP options. Well, I guess we can see what our haste is. Maybe if our haste isn't all too great. I mean, it'll be fine, though. We'll have the 15 from the rune, and we'll have, like, 25 from our Ionians, or tier 3 Ionians, and we'll have 10 from, excuse me, Actualizer, and, what, another 10, 15 from Monomoon? So, I don't know. It's probably enough haste, at least. Maybe we just shouldn't plan on being 4 items on Sylas. That could be the real solution. That was a really long loading screen. I'm going to be really, really drained if it's a remake. They just take the life out of me, man. I don't know where I'm going. It's like, she went Ignite, so maybe I should just take the... let's go Doran's Ring, right? They're probably bad anyways. So I'm gonna need a tier, and I'm gonna need Roa. I cannot believe I'm doing this, but here we go.
Minions have spawned.
Is there a jungler on the side of the map?
No more dungeons.
I'm pretty happy with that. I'm the one that took TP, right?
Conflict brings truth. Eventually.
Oh my lord, what is this guy doing? Okay, never mind. He's the goat. What do I know?
Traitor. I am the true Demacia.
I kind of needed him to help walk me back in, to be honest.
Even death.
I guess it's kind of okay. I got a kill, she got a kill. She can't push this. I have TP, she has no Ignite. She actually can push this. What is OP champion, right?
Look! A hostage.
She tried to get me into the tower. I mean, good try, I guess. She's level 3.
Only sheep need a leader.
She wants to pick up this cannon minion, and she's gonna be able to do it too. I can't stop her.
It will be brother against brother, father against son.
I think that's actually good for her, if I'm being perfectly honest.
As long as I draw breath, so does the revolution.
I mean, like, just like the wave and stuff ends up good for her. Generally, the accelerated pacing just works for me.
I was born a mage. The Marcia made me a criminal.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't really been picking up any combat stats yet. I just got my first bit of AP with this Dark Seal.
Swine and sheep. That's all they are.
Nice. Anyone he's killing it. I didn't even notice her. I'm supposed to be trying to look at my map.
We will rip.
This guy's probably still dead. Nice. I like that Sage gets that extra auto off first. I have so many components. Component maxing Sylas.
Chains build revolutions, one link at a time.
What is this? Oh my. Oh my lord. You're too good, Sedge.
I will show them a world without lords or peasants.
An ally has been slain.
We're going all the way.
Enemy double kill.
Frosted.
Missed the free air. Time to take what's ours!
Wish you gave me that shutdown. Because, you know, I'm the Sylas guy. And that's the tank guy. Yeah, well, at the very least, I could say I don't feel weak so far. Sylas is just such a good scrapping early game champ that, you know, it hasn't been that big a deal that I'm not building super aggressive. Oh, frick. I was completely cooked.
My words.
That's a really bad death for me.
I died many deaths in my sin. This is nothing.
I shouldn't have tried to play so aggressive there. I ended up just getting like really far behind the Centro.
Just sowing the seeds of rebellion.
I should probably be willing to use a little bit more abilities. I'm probably stacking too slow right now. Get this plate.
From the rubble, true order will be born.
again, man.
I'm a man without a country. Perhaps I'll take this.
This guy has it out for me.
A mage seeker tried to test me once.
Part of me wants to do it. Man, he's still here?
What can they
Is that not
do to
crazy?
me that they have not done?
Oh, that was terrible.
A man who seeks control. A man who needs a glass. No wars.
I played the end of that pretty bad, to be honest.
Not the first time I've had my neck in a noose. Join me. Oxen and swine, Demacian and swine. They'll all end up
Too
at the
slow.
slaughter.
I think Xerath completely screwed my wave for some reason.
You're part of the problem.
It's not. It's kind of fine. This guy is ever gonna leave?
After 15 years in the dark, I was illuminated.
Ooh, that's bad.
Let's level the playing field.
King again.
Lure the blood.
Do the stun! He put his W up, he couldn't do the stun. I'm just dying for nothing. Man, Sejuani looks so strong. He can't do anything to her. The Sejuani used her W, even though I insta-sacked her passive, she couldn't stun.
I had worse beatings in prison. Good, evil, what does any of that mean?
I'm dead. Ay, ay, ay.
Enemy double kill. An ally has been slain.
The sooner you kill me,
This ratio go up.
even death cannot shame me.
Oh,
They work their fingers to the bone, serving a king they'll never meet. I must show them there is more to life. I will be the monster they think I am.
There's completely one top.
Ally has been slain.
Little depressing so far. How much haste is this? 15 minutes.
As long as I draw breath, so does the revolution.
We're really low here.
Sweet liberation! Shared and shared alike.
That wasn't even close.
Martyred.
Soraka just had everything still.
No time to live good. Always hit the ground running.
You're not gonna win that. If he stuns and leaves, that'll be fine. Ooh, nice mid. Oh, I guess R.
Ally has been slain.
Yeah, we're just constantly fighting against Soraka right now, which is not very good. Maybe I'll end up picking Morello's later.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
We're gonna finish our core first, though. Really far behind the next feed. Oh, it's just kind of bad. It's warm-up game, and at least it's exciting. Jungle top, Cinder bot.
Shut down.
Never mind. What HP?
Enemy double.
Why would I go to any of those places? Cinder obviously open bot. I'm just gonna get what I can mid instead. Instead of ending the game,
Whatever
you know?
they bring, I'll match it. No more queen, no more queen, no more maiden.
has been slain.
Damn. Why is Cinder so fast on the map, actually? She just skipped. We just completely skipped the wave mid and walked it top instantly. Yes, good on her, right? It didn't even look that convincing with just the 2v2, to be honest.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I've fallen really far behind.
Rampage.
I accidentally W backwards. Oh, no, I guess he killed Cinder with it. I didn't see. Are you killing her? I'm killing her, so I can flash too.
An ally has been slain.
Question authority, then slit its throat.
Oh.
Your turret has been destroyed.
The mage shall inherit the earth.
An enemy has been slain.
Oh, it's pretty dark.
Every
Why doesn't it feel like
Demacian
here
a
yet?
king.
Cinder's mine. I don't think I walk this way. They're all already on the dragon, by the way. Oh. But the ult even went off. We almost have our 2 core items, which hopefully, once we actually finish the Mono Moon, we'll feel the really good spike, right? Because we'll get the AD from it, and we'll get the passive. I'm not playing the hottest Sylas game.
Their shackles are now my weapon.
Xerath is in the habit of shoving a lot of waves.
No prison can hold me.
Enemy rampage. Enemy killing spree.
I literally cannot collect any minions like this.
Time to crack the upper crust.
Syndra does not care. She just wants to fight. Just rock her too. Like, why are both sports bot lane right now?
World is without
This
war.
is just weird, no?
Enemy rampage.
The revolution must pause. Temporary.
An ally has been slain.
Maybe this will make us strong. She did die. Damn. Yeah, I mean,
Your turret
didn't feel bad to do that. But I guess we're just generally weak in the game, so it's not really a good test game right now. We're so weak, right? We're supposed to be ahead of the curve because we're supposed to win early on Sylas and everything, or at least make good skirmishes after we get our first base in TP. But we chose some really ill fights, which is pretty uncool.
Even death cannot shame me.
Am I TPing this? I don't think so.
double kill.
It is kind of a lot of damage, huh? You know, that was kind of a lot. It actually was kind of a lot. Now that I've hit my 2 items, and what, I've got 50 haste, I guess. Okay, it's just a warm-up game, though. It's like it's cool, you know? Happens. But I do think I overfought. I should have just played for nice farm and for some better timings.
I draw breath.
Turret has been destroyed.
I can't ult this guy right now.
Killing spree.
I guess we can let him take the inhib. It's pretty early inhib, all things considered.
Turret has been destroyed.
It's only champions. Hopefully play well.
Took a prison to find liberation.
I'm not getting involved in that.
Enemies dominating.
Hey! I mean, that's something. Yeah, I think if I'm gonna play it, I've got to upgrade TB.
Retreat.
Well, can you both these? Yeah, I can.
I used to be locked up, but
Not good. Not good. I'm just completely one-tapped. Yeah. Okay. I should have left the pit. We kind of made them back off. I didn't have to play from inside the pit. I could have came out and then like came around here. Well, I didn't want to do that. I'm probably baiting my team with those pings. What did this go up to? Not a ton.
An enemy is unstoppable. An ally has been slain.
Report MF.
An enemy is dominating.
I mean, I don't know about report. Oh, that
no
sucks.
time to lick wounds.
I don't know about report. I'm not gonna report her, but I do think it's kind of messed up to, you know, accidentally queue an off-roll ranked game. Like, you're not even in the mindset of I'm gonna go play ranked, and then you queue for the game. It's like kind of uncool, I guess, in my opinion. I'm not gonna report her for it, but it was uncool. Either do it or not. Cringe. Whatever. Alright, first game of the day. We got the int out of us, right? That was it? No more inting? We're here to game now? Oh, am I plugging? I don't know. I kind of don't want it today. I can just focus on the game for now. That might be nice. Maybe I'd go for like a longer stream. See if I stream for like a really long time, if that makes a difference. Because I can just go long stream. I can go like this game, maybe another game, casual draft video, maybe 2 more games. It's pretty long. See if anything wanders in on its own. Strange stats on that last video. Still looking for Aurora Sylas. Unless we need AD, we'll just play our player set or our Yone. As is appropriate. AD carries will never trade, but we'll see. Maybe she'll go for it. Okay. They went for it. I don't know why I assumed it was a she. Is AD carry a girl role? Probably not. I played a decent amount of AD carry. I'm male. Draven. Draven's number one. Draven. I didn't even say a Draven voice. Draven Seraphine, not the most, not super friendly to play into. Mel would probably actually be a pretty good pick here. They both have poke in the lane. I'm generally not a big fan of Mel's support, but it is really strong in Seraph. Okay, well, so they just give the Nami, which is still fine. I don't think either lanes really extremely dominant, or should be extremely dominant in the bot lane. I think as soon as Varus gets some levels, it's probably fine. Might even be a TP game for the Varus. I don't think you should be trying to take all lanes with Draven, of course. Huh. It's a hen Diana. So it just shows to blind the hen. I'm probably blinding here, so I'm not going to go Sylas. I don't love the ults anyways. So we'll make this our Aurora game.
See with eyes unclouded.
There you go, Galio. We're definitely not going... Okay, we'll go with this setup. It's kind of awkward. It's fine. Electrocute's probably still fine. I don't even know really what else you go. Maybe First Strike into Galio. I feel like it's not even that good. We're going to go Battle Mage build, though, this game, because they're like 3 pretty healthy targets, plus they have Seraphine, plus Draven's going to have a BT, almost certainly early. I don't know, maybe he's lethality. I don't know if Aurora damage one-shots through Seraphine. I actually just don't know. So for the moment, we're just going to assume that we need to play Blackfire with our whatever our Bloodletters and Leandries. That's what we're gonna plan to build. Kind of strange. I mean, there's some players there's a lot of players in the game that say they're not at their target rank yet, but I don't know why I have so many of them in my gold game. Is this like some sort of weird Smurf lobby or something?
This region is teeming with wayward spirits. I'll find and help them all.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
I could just. I mean, that's my current suspicion, right? Is a lot of people here are on alts or Smurfs.
Minions have spawned.
Too much, I guess. No, there are no deniers in the chat.
Spirits are so lucky they're not. My work is at a critical juncture, so this interruption is not ideal. You're in my personal space. Take it in. So strange, yet so cute. Goodbye, little friend. Weaknesses can also be strengths.
Oh my lord. I think as much CS as I would have liked. Guess I'll just let this bounce. Am I going again? BFT? I don't know how fast Diana can get on her bot side camps.
Open your mind.
A summoner has disconnected.
I should write
Went
home,
ghost.
so my family knows I'm still alive.
Chill, Galio. I'm not that bloodthirsty.
Teach me something
A
new.
summoner has reconnected.
Kind of sucks that
First
lead
blood.
DC. Because I think we have a good position here mid lane.
I see your spirit.
Ooh.
A summoner has disconnected.
Spirits here are different from the ones in the Freljord.
Galio takes a bit of a weird base, but that's going to end up being good for us. I'm kind of concerned about my Lee-Bin here.
No.
He
not
seems to be
interested
having
in
some
purchasing
troubles. And once again, I really don't like
An
remakes and
enemy has
things.
been slain. An ally has been slain.
Diana's bot. So there's already players on the map. We haven't gotten a prompt for early FF yet.
A summoner has reconnected.
And he's coming he's coming in and
Would
out.
anyone notice
So
if I
we
just-
actually might just get kind of screwed this game. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, obviously he's gonna get, you know, penalized, right? I messed up the minion.
Take it in. So few see the world.
So, you know, kinda sucks. It's not really unplayable, I don't think.
Oh, I heard about this.
Oh, a little bit of a lag spike. Da-da. I want to hit this guy more. But he just plays super far back.
Leave me alone.
Be careful about hitting this.
Auntie Hop
Yeah,
is
it's
a
not
light
playing
here.
aggressive on me.
She loves drama.
I'm worried about my bot lane here quite a bit. They know I could walk. Okay. They're not. Diana's not coming.
Fascinating. I'll review this later. This one's for you. Eyes on target. You'll enjoy
Alright.
being
We got a nice little roam off.
I like when it's quiet. I can hear myself.
Is this guy actually planning on basing here?
How can anyone be afraid of ghosts? They're adorable.
Cry, load, reload. Your name is Canyon and Plot. Let's chill.
Beautiful, isn't it? I see your spirit. Let's get this over.
I know, right? Like, how are you gonna leave 2 minutes into the game? Or not even leave, but DC 2 minutes into the game, and then obviously your team's like, man, I'm kind of like at a huge disadvantage for free, and then talk to your team like that.
Take it in. The spiritual balance here is off.
I think we could ult somewhere. It's my only concern right now. I'm kind of leaning. I'd like to base though. I have TP though,
It's exhausting.
so I can come right back. Yeah, just take this for better power. Ah, my guy pings he's coming. No, we're just not coming.
I have better things to do.
Yeah, but it's like I'm keeping in an aggressive position. Like, you can walk on me, man.
I see your spirit. I go where my research takes me.
This is strange positioning from Galio.
An enemy has been slain.
Maybe Diana's thinking of getting up to some funny business.
I see. Very interesting.
He lets us hit our combo, right?
Well, that was a waste of my time.
I'm not going. No, but Diana's there. Why aren't we doing this now? How are we only not doing the play after it's good? And so we're gonna fight grubs?
I quite enjoy
After I just
my
used everything? What is this? I like genuinely I don't know what that is. I don't play the support role.
Fascinating. I'll review this later.
Killing spree.
Hester, my friend. I'll do all I can to help you. Take it in.
An enemy has been slain.
Through the glass.
An ally has been slain.
Deep breaths.
Man, I'm not.
An enemy has been slain.
Open
An
your mind.
ally has been slain.
Spirits are so lucky they're not people.
That is still on the bot side of the map, so I'm gonna try to play towards the top.
Weaknesses can also be strengths.
That was a decision.
An ally has been slain.
Maybe I'm running to this?
Oh, we're not done? We're still fighting? Okay.
Looks like there honestly might be something here. Nice. He gets at least one.
Enemy rampage.
Oh!
Rampage.
I didn't quite hit.
The sounds, the smells.
I'm gonna push this wave and get out. Get my Blackfire.
Eyes unclouded.
Get the Blackfire torch, build into my Bloodletters? Yeah, build into the Bloodletters, and then we'll just try to cook from there.
I should write home.
I don't really know who's carrying this
So my
game.
family knows I'm
Maybe
still alive.
my... What is my Varus building?
Your team has destroyed a turret.
And it's the
Your
lethality.
team has
Finn.
destroyed a turret.
My Jax will carry. My Jax will carry. It's fine, right? My Jax will carry. That's what'll happen.
Has been slain.
Okay, nice. Where's... There it is. Big miss.
See mine. Laboratory.
we get interrupted. On the tower, at least. It's really the important part. I shouldn't have pulled that early. Every tick of Blackfire I get is just more damage on my Q.
Take it in.
Don't ping me, bro. Like, that was gonna make a difference.
That was not ideal, but I won't let this derail me.
Like, nice. Nice!
Oh, I've read about this. Open your mind. Beautiful, isn't it? Auntie Habe would like it here. She loves drama.
An enemy has been slain.
I feel like when it's quiet, I can hear myself.
You have slain an enemy.
I lost my train of thought. See the queen!
You have slain an enemy.
Yeah, man, listen, just into my game, just into my game, just into my game. Yeah.
Take it in. One round to another.
I'm the problem, I'm the problem.
This is a learning process. I'll return after a break in the spirit realm.
I have plenty of games I am the problem, to be fair. Just like this one's a little crazy to me. That my Lee Sin was pinging me there.
How can anyone be afraid of ghosts? They're
An
adorable.
ally has been
See your
slain.
spirit.
Can't really walk too aggressively. They want all in mid. Diana is on the Drake.
An enemy has been slain.
This is kind of
Where
crap.
my research takes me.
Not much to say about that.
See, really interesting.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Still don't know where Diana is. Could be anywhere. I really think it's mandate. Oh.
I quite enjoy my own company.
Probably left with Lee Sin's Krugs.
Take it in.
I guess to be fair, the Galio is still tanky as hell, right?
Hester, my friend. I'll do all I can to help you.
An enemy has been slain.
Spirits are so lucky they're not people.
New patch. No, we can't do that.
Weaknesses can also be strengths. Beyond the veil.
Really? Is this good for him? Surely it couldn't be. The missile line abilities probably is. Damn. That's pretty bad for me. I should be really winning in that situation. The trade, I think, is actually good for me, though. I actually think it's really good that I get Galio Flash for Aurora Flash.
An ally has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain.
Gotta be a little careful here. Galio could come. Man, we pushed that way faster than I thought we did. I didn't have to leave, actually. Thought I was gonna be able to push that next wave. I'm gonna greed for it, actually. We're gonna back up. I'm gonna collect this red buff and heal a little bit, and then collect the wave that crashes into our tower here. Oh, wait, it's gone.
Between worlds.
Your team has
I should
destroyed
write
a
home.
turret.
So my family knows I'm still alive. Beautiful, isn't it?
Kind of bait him a little bit there. It kind of looks like we're gonna push up and shove that wave and in, so he probably sits in the bush. I don't know, where'd he go? I just assumed he was sitting in the bush waiting for a chance to kill me, but surely if he hasn't come out by now, he's not in the bush. Where the frick did he go?
This is far too much walking.
It didn't end up being BT Draven. I don't think I should go
Spirits
farther.
here are different from the ones in the Freljord.
Killing spree.
Yeah, Diana's kind of watching him.
I see your spirit. Would anyone notice if I just...
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Everybody's just kind of missing. Diana's over there.
few
Drake's gonna be up soon, though. Can we not? There, like, Drake is up, right? And we have better position. Can we not all in? Can we just, like, play for the Drake?
Oh, I've read about this.
Okay. Good start.
Ally has been slain.
I like when it's quiet. I can hear it.
We'll take it. You are black. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm gonna
Anyone be afraid of
gloss over
ghosts?
that one.
They're adorable.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I see your spirit.
W pink hair. I don't know about W pink hair, to be
This is
honest.
field research. Open your mind. Crossing over.
Unstoppable.
You're really kind of scarier than I thought you'd be. I'm actually dead. You're like, is this? Well, I don't understand what's happening here. He has an Imperial Mandate, which I guess is some AP. What is this? And I'm getting hit by 6% vulnerable. What does this mean? Mobilizing enemy champions you embarked with vulnerable by current will extend the effect rather than stacking the implication. Wait. Vulnerable. Take a % increased damage from all sources. So it takes 6% increased damage. So he does this, and then I take 6% more damage from his % max health. AP scaling Q is happening. So you're going like max Q % health damage with this flat percentage scaling or something like this. I don't know. It seems rather strange.
I go where my research takes me.
I'm pretty sure if I was just playing it better. He just has literally no chance of winning.
Very interesting.
But I'm playing quite disrespectfully. Because I just look at him and I assume he's weak. But he's not actually weak. Or at least he's weak, but he doesn't do any. He has more damage than I think. But he's not very tanky. Oh my lord. He's in.
I'll do all I can to help you.
Yeah, man, I got TP. Whatever y'all want to do. Oh, I do kill him. Nice.
Bookmarked for later study. Take it in.
Yeah, I don't see any reason not to just keep hitting this tower. Seems like we just completely owned the objective. And you have TP as well. I like this build. This is actually pretty fun. I didn't like the Battle Mage build when you had just the Leandra's Bloodletters and the Riftmaker. I think those are bad. But with the Blackfire and the Haste, I'm kind of digging it.
See your spirit.
An enemy has been slain.
I messed up. Well, I kind of got everything out of his head. I don't really have to do that. I've just kind of been messing around and limit testing. I just feel very strong at the moment. So my problem always is I don't necessarily know what to get next. I'm already pretty hard to kill, especially for their comp. So I actually feel like I'm allowed to just go like a Shadow Flame next and be pretty satisfied. The answer could be Rabadon's. I think it's probably Shadow Flame. I don't have all that much AP. So what's Rabadon's going to give me? It'll give me 130, so we'll be at... we can add it to 400 plus 30%.
Back to work.
So we'll
Spirits here
get,
still need
you know,
me.
good like... 132-ish AP. So we'll get like 500 AP from Rabadon's right now. Which I guess is not bad. Sorry, not that we'll get 500 AP, but we'll be at 100 AP.
Your turret has been destroyed.
One round to another.
I should just press R. That was bad. Scalio actually does do a lot of damage. I need to be pressing R more. I have good R cooldown on this build. I just need to hit the button. It is a bit of a shame. I don't know why we're not on the objective. Nami's kind of right. Well, they're not winning, but we do have a way to lose. I hate its build. The comp for team fight? I with the comp. I'd actually argue that we're kind of more of a pick comp. I look at Seraphine and Diana and Gallia with a Zehen, and I'm like, actually, they probably have the better team comp, or the better team fighting comp. Is there a way for me to TP in here? I don't really feel like there is. I'm gonna go ahead and go. Is there a way to end up playing this favorably? It's a good start. I need the hit. Managed to just barely tag Seraphine in there, but it's not good enough. I think we are going to go Shadow Flame next. I mean, I could. What else do I even get? Banshees? I don't love it. I think we just build the rest of the kit damage. We actually have a lot of haste right now. Right now we have the ability to pretty much Q, wait for it to time out, and then instantly Q again, which is very good. Shadow Flame will also interact favorably with our burns and our Q. It's a very good Aurora item.
The spirit realm, the material realm.
Yeah, I'm going.
They aren't images,
I don't think
but
she's gonna
two
full
halves
commit
of one
here.
existence.
Yeah.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Can we anti-heal them? I mean, we could anti-heal them. But I think you probably want more anti-shielding than you want anti-healing.
Don't touch me.
Alright. I'm gonna hopefully just shove this out real quick.
Move.
And then
Busy.
I can sit mid with my team and not let them in. Come we trap. Maybe we trap. Jax still
I
doesn't
should
have
write
TP.
home, so my family knows I'm still alive.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Diana's bot. I wonder if this guy's just dead too fast.
Spirits here are different from the ones in the room.
Can we finish it? I think we can finish it. I still can't move! It was such a long CC.
Slain an enemy. An ally has been slain.
Enough of that, thank you.
Ends up pretty good. I think, maybe it's not good to let me die. I think Lucian needs to just live here.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Angering the spirits.
An ally has been slain.
Spirit. So few see this.
Enemy double kill. destroyed.
Don't know how I'm still getting pinged, by the way.
Knowledge is power. Try reading a book.
It's running out, though.
You're in my personal space. Oh, I've read about this.
I don't know why we hit that.
I can hear myself.
This time. There's a head champion is getting popping off a little bit. Oh my lord. We ended up getting both the Baron and the Drake, but what a sequence. It's getting a little dizzying out here.
They're adorable.
The only thing left to pick up really is Rabadons. I could pick up defensively, but really, as you can see in the fights, like
The spiritual
I don't
balance
really
here
have any threat on me until my whole team's dead.
is between worlds.
Nope, it's bad.
I go with research. You'll enjoy being a spy.
Whoa.
I'd enjoy my own day.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Crossing over.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
Spirits are so lucky they're not people. Beyond the veil. See you here.
Okay. Gaming.
Sounds. I hate it.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret. A summoner has disconnected.
What a game. What a game. It was so hard. Why do I have to fight so hard for my one to win? I had to fight so hard for one win, man. It was insane. Maybe I'll do the casual video real quick to cool off. Maybe. Alright. I think I've already come up with a great title for this React video. I'm gonna call it Pixels Yell at Old Men for an Hour. Water. Should I get more water? Nah, it's probably fine. Okay. Oh man. It's gonna be a bit of a long one, but I'm pretty interested. So let's see how this works. So this video is Cadral in-depth explanation on how drafting and meta works. Specifically in pro play, right? Featuring MS Paint, I assume. And I'm pretty curious about this. I definitely have a lot to learn in regards to how this actually works in pro teams and things like this, but I do want to make a lot of pro and LCS like content in the future, so I think this is going to be a really good learning experience for me. And I'm going to take definitely some time during this video to insert some of my own opinions in here. That may or may not be correct, but I'm curious to see if there might be some sort of back and forth with what I'm saying and what a lot of people feel and what, Cadral is thinking. Anyways, I'm rambling on. I don't really need an intro. Let's start. Cadral, tell me what you think of drafting. Hopefully I'm not in the way over here.
What is Syndra's win rate? Is she popping off? Oof. Oh my god.
Syndra's popping off. This is a year ago, by the way.
We're going to be in a...
who you got winning worlds?
Are we really going to be in a worlds meta with Syndra, LeBlanc, TF, Ari, Sylas?
No. No, we were not.
Oh man, just slam a Kali in there somehow and we've got a mega patch. Wait,
someone's gonna
it's-
play a Kali, right?
It's the patch of Showmaker!
The Showmaker patch.
I thought Yone would be OP on this patch. But I guess against champs like Syndra LeBlanc, it's mega annoying.
Yeah, I mean, a year ago, I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure you only have Yone players playing Yone. Like, I think you had Shanks, and Chovy is obviously still playing some Yone. Maybe Zeka's playing some Yone. But he's not one of those champions that you're going to force. You're not going to see a player like maybe like Quad or something playing Yone unless it's just a really good angle for it. I just like it these days, or what?
Oh, which mid laners are going to get really fucked by this meta? Who's going to suck on a Syndra, Yone, Talia meta? Someone's going to suck.
Who would
is it?
suck on this meta? I feel like a lot of mid
Chovy
laners
doesn't
really
play
like these
Syndra,
champions.
which Zeka is kind of fucked.
You can't tell me that Chovy couldn't play Syndra if you want to play Syndra. And what is he saying? Sylas is in the meta, right? So I don't know why I'm yelling at this guy for a meta that was a year ago. It doesn't even matter, right? Like
Chovy never played Syndra, really?
it doesn't
He's
matter.
played 2
Moving
games of Syndra and lost both. Wow. Wow, that is bad for him. That is bad. Zeka has 3 games, so it's not as bad. But Showmaker loves Syndra.
on. Yeah, right.
He loves Syndra.
We had like a world
So that's
video, I
big for
think, where he
Showmaker.
was
This is a
Syndra.
great Showmaker meta. Syndra LeBlanc is his bread and butter. He likes Sylas, he likes Ryze, he likes TF, he likes Talia. This is his meta. He's been struggling early against his Ahri. Looks like a bit shit, but he's been struggling a lot against all these AD mids. Oh, I don't know how EU's gonna do on a Syndra meta.
Who do you? I mean, obviously Caps plays Syndra. Who
Where's
else do you
Fate
have
with Syndra?
that
Bro, he has so many
Zeka's
games
Silas
played.
that plays
Muggle.
Syndra in LEC?
8,
Nemesis
10
isn't
games.
there anymore, right? So
I think
maybe
Caps and
Larson,
Humanoid do
maybe
like
Humanoid
Syndra, though.
plays it.
Oh
Caps
my
has
god,
generally
Caps
been
has
good,
been
right?
spamming Syndra. Syndra Oriana.
34 damn need
Wait,
to
the mid
maybe
meta is
stop
gonna be
giving
great
this
if it's
guy
Syndra
so
Oriana
much
Ryze.
money.
Man, I love watching. So, let me try and draw it for you.
Draw it for me, Cadro. All right, we're getting into it now.
So, let's take Ryze for example, right? Ryze loses to champs like Oriana and Syndra. He gets outranged by mages, right? Things like
Right.
Cassio, really annoying. Azir is okay because he doesn't do that much damage.
Pause.
But Ryze is good in champs like Sylas.
So Rise into like Oriana and Syndra is kind of like playing like Annie into Rise, where you kind of suffer in the 1v1, but you don't lose that bad. And if you have the right game for it, right, you'll still scale. But generally, it's like, yeah, you don't want to play Rise into these matchups. I wonder what's happening where I need to go into Task Manager real quick and see why my browser is moving so slow. I'm not eating anything up. Maybe I need to delete some files or something. I do probably have a lot of files. How much is all this? Probably a decent amount. Let's delete this real quick. And then empty our recycle bin, and then we'll get back to it. Well, that emptied really fast, so that might have not cleared that much space. Oh, it cleared a decent amount of space. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. Hopefully that's the issue. Back to it. Yeah, seems a little bit more responsive now.
And TF. Because he outtrades them and they're shorter range. But Sylas is good into TF. But mages can be good into Sylas. Right? So you have this weird meta going on. And then LeBlanc is like in her own world. Where LeBlanc functions differently. And she's good into champs like Oriana and Cassio maybe. And Ryze especially. If you have kill pressure. If you have like a stronger jungler. And then into TF you have other counters other than just Sylas. Like Tristana who's...
So my big thing with some of what he's saying right now is I think pretty much at the moment, I'm not going to draw next to him. Hopefully I won't get in the way. This, what he's talking about so far, these largely... that's hard to see. Let's use... These largely so far are lane counters. Things like LeBlanc in particular. I think don't scale well in most games, or don't generally have great situations unless you're snowballing. A lot of these champions right now, I think, are matchup specific counters. I don't think that a lot of these champions actually get significant advantages in mid to late game fights over the champions that he's saying they counter. I don't think these are hard counters.
Great into TF because you just perma push him on the tower and he can never move from his tower, right? But Tristana can get fucked by champs like Cassio. So the mid meta, and Hui is just, I mean, he's kind of like a mage as well. He kind of fits in here. And then you have champs like Ahri and Talia, who, I mean,
Faker,
to be honest, in 1v1, Ahri versus Orianna, for example, Ahri's kind of outranged. She can like get the push a little bit, but Orianna, it's quite hard for Ahri to play. Similarly for Talia, they're both kind of roamy mages that just get outranged, and it's really difficult for them to play against champs like Syndra, Orianna. I'll get rid of Cassio for now, because she's not really going to be meta at Worlds. So Orianna, Syndra are really good into Ahri, Talia, but Ahri, Talia are really good in champs like Sylas, TF. So it's weird when it comes to blind picking mid.
Well, one thing that's strange about Ahri is that she doesn't really have a lot of really terrible lanes. Like, he's right about the matchups, right? About Ahri not being particularly great into these champions, but the champion's so safe, and Charm and her dashes give her a set amount of utility that make it hard for her to be bad or to look super bad on, but that are like, but her, how useful she can be in a game is pretty capped. I don't think you see like Turbo Ahri games all that often. At least not ones that should naturally occur. Where'd I put my mouse? There it is. It's like hidden in this paint.
So when you look at this, right, you think Ryze is a good counter pick, but gets countered by mages. Sylas and TF are like good champs, but they have pretty rough counter picks as well. And then you kind of like go back down the ladder, and the best blind picks at Worlds, by the sounds of it, are going to be Orianna and Syndra. And then this is how blind pick mid looks like it'll be. I mean, Talia kind of works.
XDD.
And Ahri kind of works if you have... I'll put Hui as well, just in case. This is depending on jungle. And then it depends on what...
Yeah, he's right. Those two depend on jungle. Something something worth noting about Syndra and Orianna is this is pretty much how pro meta always tends to work. That's not how I want to draw that. Something that's kind of weird about how pro meta always tends to work is that usually whatever good control mage exists is the best blind pick, right? Because the counters to control mages are generally, at least in lane, are generally artillery mages. Well, you can't see that. I don't have Cadro levels of paint skills, right? So the counters generally to control mages are artillery mages, but no one really plays any artillery mages, right? I mean, I don't know generally why people don't play artillery mages. Maybe people don't perceive them as good enough. Maybe people think that it's too hard to invest time into them, and therefore it's better to just like trade control mages or things like this. But generally, these are the counters to pretty much any like X good control mage at the moment, is to pick some sort of artillery mage, but people don't pick them. So this is how they always become, these champions always just become the strongest ones, right? It is what it is.
What your champ pool is. How confident are you, Do you want to play Talia Ahri when they pick Orianna Syndra? Do you want to match Orianna Syndra, which we could see a lot, like Orianna Syndra handshakes? You could play things like LeBlanc if you have a good jungler as well. And then you have champs like Ryze, where if the team has something like Sejuani and they want a melee mid, then Sylas can fit in. If they have champs like Viego and they need Roamer and they go for TF, this is where Tristana can fit in. And these counters kind of come out, right? So I think if Orianna Syndra are the blind picks, maybe Galio could be played, actually. I think about it. If Orianna Syndra are the blind picks, you'll either see them handshake Orianna Syndra, or you'll see teams pick LeBlanc, Talia, Ahri. If you pick anything else, it's really difficult to play the game. it's really, really difficult to play like TF into Syndra. TF into Syndra is very dependent. For example, like TF is a very move speed focused champ, right? You go boots early, you build things like Mercury Treads. So if they have something like Syndra Sejuani, then TF actually becomes playable. You don't get the push and you lose early, but you go Merc Treads first item. You don't have much damage, but if you have a good jungler like Viego, this is where TF's playable, right? Because you can play TF into this, sack the lane phase, and then you're more useful on the map.
I wonder if TF Viego, I mean, it probably depends on other comps, right? So now that we've kind of zoomed out a little bit to junglers, but this is still a pretty narrow, I don't want to say narrow view, because I'm not saying he's like tunneling or anything like that. I'm just saying it's like, there are other factors or other variables that could be at play that, you know, might change situations, right? So like TF Viego, for example, it's like, excuse me, sorry. It's like TF Viego, for example. Sounds like it could be a good pairing, but a lot of time, unless you're going a very heavy damage Viego build, or if it's early enough in the game, you're not going to have enough damage to kill someone with just those two members of your team, right? Hitting on a gold card. So you're going to need, especially against a Syndra Sedge, but it's like, so you're going to need other members of your team to have some sort of follow-up to your TF and Viego. So he hasn't really talked anything about like whatever the bot lane meta is at this point in the game, but depending on what that might be, you know, some sort of pick reset Viego comp might actually be not actually be viable, especially if we're talking about TF. Like picking TF to pretty much plan on losing a lane into Syndra. This already doesn't seem very good. I think Syndra and Sejuani as just a core part of your team sounds like they're going to have a lot more value. Merc Treads might be really good into them, but otherwise it sounds like they're going to scale much better into a game than a TF Viego, at least without seeing their other pieces, right? So I'd really like to hear him like maybe zoom out on some of these mid-jungle pairings, because mid-jungle pairings are really important, but it also matters what team comp they're slotting into.
And you can start to get the push, right? Where does Yone fit into all of this, I feel like? I feel like Yone is... So, from my understanding, Yone opens up a bit more of a mid pool, where Yone is a really strong champ and is blindable if Renekton is down. If I pick Yone on blue side, and you have Renekton flex, it's really annoying for the Yone. Otherwise, I think Yone is pretty much fine into everything. With Doran Shield, the fleet buffs, you know, he has a potion, he has absorb life. When I say fine, I say like he can get through the lane, like he's fine. He's not going to have insane pressure like one.
Are people Renekton flexing in 2024? I don't remember them Renekton flexing mid in 2024. Who's Renekton flexing in 2024? I don't recall that. But yeah, I mean, generally what he's saying, I completely agree here on Yone. It's just like, you can get through most lanes. I mean, Doran Shield Second Wind has pretty much allowed you to circumvent any bad matchup in the game. Or at least, not like circumvent it, but it pretty much allows you to survive a lane up till certain breakpoints. Like, you're maybe forced to go 10 to 20 CS down if they're playing the lane extremely well, and, they're not walking to a position where the jungler can gank them for free and all that such, and all that whatnot, right? But generally, Yone will scale extremely hard as soon as he gets like his Bork or his Vamp Seps who can survive the lane and things like this. And you can just play to sort of suffer for a second and then still be a very strong champion later on. I think it's like the most viable dive / assassin champion.
To 5, but until then, he's like a scaling side laner, so he's okay. I think Yone fits into comps.
I don't think he's just a side
laner, champs like Sejuani as well, or you have AP junglers. He kind of fits into with Vi a little bit, but that's, I think, what the mid meta is going to go in the direction of. I mean, obviously, it also depends, because the way metas work is it expands on it, right? So, for example, Jarvan is a good pick. Mine. Every champ has like a branch that it causes. If you pick Jarvan and you ban Poppy, a good champion to Jarvan is Lee Sin, right? Lee Sin is a great champion to Jarvan. So you could see Lee Sin being played at Worlds, mainly into Jarvan. And if you're playing champs like Lee Sin, this unlocks champs that are necessary. You need TF, you need LeBlanc, you need Syndra. And so if...
Jungle matchups are probably one of my biggest knowledge gaps in terms of matchup knowledge, right? So the biggest gap, jungle matchups are my biggest gap in matchup knowledge, right? So I actually have no idea like why Lee Sin is good into Jarvan or anything, right? So, and I don't think he's going to get into it here. He didn't get into any of like the specifics of like why each mid lane matchups is better into the other one. He kind of said like, yeah, this outranges this and such like that, right? But I actually don't know a lot about jungle matchups. So I don't know if Lee Sin into Jarvan is winning enough to justify the like late game utility that Jarvan can provide into certain comps. I mean, Lee Sin, of course, has his own late game utility, right? But it's really you're only going to see the effectiveness of a late game Lee Sin on a extremely good Lee Sin player. So kind of like Yone, I feel like it's not actually a good option for as many teams pick it.
If you're blinding one of these champs, then obviously there's counts, right? If you blind TF, you're going to get hit by Tristana or Sylas. If you blind LeBlanc, you're probably going to get hit by Lissandra, which is like a very unique counter pick to LeBlanc. If you blind Syndra, you're probably going to hit by Orianna. Another old school counter of Syndra, which people used to play, there's two old school counters. One was Echo, and one was Fizz. These champs were really annoying for Syndra, because what happens is the lane phase is fine, but when you get out of lane, Syndra can't catch side waves, because she's under too much threat of being
Are Jizuke and West Door showing up to Worlds this year?
Chased in a long lane, if that makes sense. Okay, I don't think we'll see Fizz at Worlds. Small chance someone plays Echo maybe, but the way the game works, it's quite simple, right? If this is top lane and I want to catch a wave and push out and both towers are dead and Echo or Fizz is here, the lane is so long that Syndra, if she uses QE and it's dodged, then they can just chase her through the lane with her cooldowns, and there's nothing she can do because they'll have Merc Treads and, you know,
yeah,
Fizz E and Echo ult really functions annoyingly. I think you can remember a very good example of this.
I mean, this is a big reason why LS like always pushes for side lane freezing super late into the game, right? If you just, if you just keep the wave for like on your side of the map as long as possible, and that lets you collect an extra wave or two while you're way closer to your tower, and then you shove in like this massive slow push wave, it's like, of course, then you'll be way safer on the side lane. Jizuke, I think, is the one that pushed back on this the most, where he said as much as he loves freezing, it's hard to maintain doing that in the side lane, because if they see that you're maintaining a freeze in the side lane, then you're going to open up your team to being engaged on mid lane. I don't know how valid that argument is, but it's worth noting.
Is this game.
Oh, speaking of Jizuke.
XDD garlic.
I did not expect to mention Jizuke 3 separate times in like 2 minutes.
Where you play Echo into Syndra, and you can see the map state for Syndra. It's really tough for her. You'll never see Syndra catch this top wave ever. It's really hard for her. If Echo's there, it's really hard. Syndra has to perma group. And every time Syndra groups, she needs cover. Because watch what Echo can do on side lane. Like, Syndra can't play against it. Echo outscales her too hard, and he just ults her ult, and there's nothing she can do. This is obviously this is 30 minutes into the game, but this is kind of how this matchup works. But if you look at the early game, Syndra's fine. You'll see that she'll probably have like mid push in the early stages. Syndra scales a bit better now because of the changes to her.
This is the Yamato Cannon lineup, right? The Vitality Yamato Cannon lineup. I didn't actually watch them, but I heard this was quite the crazy run. It was very interesting. So my opinion is that Jizuke probably shouldn't be allowed to play that far up on side lane onto Crown without dying. I think the biggest thing that lets him do this is... Sorry, I don't think there's anything really letting him do any of this. I think he's essentially cheating the play, right? He did something with Vision before we actually saw what happened that made it so they thought that Syndra was safe farming her wave top lane, and then he found a really good window onto Syndra. I don't think that's generally what you should see.
But like in the early lane, Syndra's fine. It's not under too much threat, but
I wonder if that's true with Halo Blades.
yeah, back in
these
the days,
days.
Echo was a very good pick. You rush Merc Treads, and then yeah.
It's just nobody plays it.
So the way metas work is like if champ becomes strong, it essentially makes other champs strong because they're good into that champ, if that makes sense. So
XDD.
the meta will be weird, and this is the problem that pro players have, is they have to sit there and play so many games and repeat so many different iterations and so many different variables of champs that could happen and could do this and could do that. And if I blind that, they play this. If I do this, they do that. If I do that, and the way you learn League is you kind of learn the formulas almost. You learn like the branches of how the champ picks work. This is like a good example of mid. Another good example.
Okay, so kind of what he alluded to there a second ago, where he was talking about, you know, learning the different paths and playing all the champions in different variables, and like learning all the iterations of what can happen with a champion, right? Kind of what he's alluding to there is these ideas about champ mastery. We'll just do this. Versus, we'll call it strength, right? And just to be clear, what do I mean by like champ strength, right? Champ mastery is self-explanatory, but the idea is how strong a champion is with context. So a champion might be very good in the meta because whatever the items or the buffs have really suited them over time, but also certain champions might be particularly good in the situation that you're picking, right? Obviously, you have like Sylas into Malphite's the classic example. It's like you have a really nice counter pick, you up the strength of Sylas a lot when Malphite's on the enemy team because you have access to good ultimates. Blah 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 blah, right? You get what I'm saying. So I think there's kind of two different ways to look at champ mastery versus strength. I think in solo queue, champ mastery can take you on literally any champion can take you to the apex tiers. I think, let's see. Let's use this instead. Up that. I think if you have high champion mastery, and you over time you get really good at your champion, you can hit like masters. Oh my. I'd say you can hit at least masters by maxing out your champion curve. If you fill this bar all the way up, all the way up, all the way up, you fill your mastery bar all the way up, and you're consistently getting as much value out of a champion you can, as you possibly can, then you can hit masters on anything. That's my general opinion. I don't know how exactly true that is, but I think this is mostly true. And this is like this is for solo queue, right? I think this is true for solo queue. What in pro play, I think it's a bit different. I think you get more value from champion strength in pro as long as you meet the floor. So we'll say like this would okay. Bear with me here. I'm going to be trying to explain what I'm thinking, but I'm also collecting my own thoughts right here at the moment. So this might not be all that clear, but I'm just going to do my best to walk through it, right? I think if you do the same bar for pro play, it's going to matter much more. These graphs aren't making all that much sense. Whatever. This is also the champion mastery graph. What's under the strength? I'm going to scrap this for now, and I'm going to try to talk about this again later. I'm going to let him keep going, but I want to get into that at some point, but I just don't know the right way to approach it right now.
Of jungle is like, for example, remember how I said Jarvan's good? I mean, Lee Sin's good into Jarvan. And Lee Sin's good into like Olaf jungle of old school, and then you have champs like Poppy, which are good into Jarvan, but they're pretty bad into Olaf jungle, and then you have champs like Ivern, which are good into Sejuani, and Sejuani's pretty good into Lee Sin in pro play, and then obviously Ivern gets countered by like AP farming junglers because he can't punish them. So then if you blind, like, if you play like Nidalee into Ivern, that's good. But Lee Sin is actually pretty good against Nidalee because he has kill pressure. And then you have champs like Xin Zhao, which fit into this meta. And then Xin Zhao gets countered by champs like Kha'Zix. That's why you saw Canyon pick Kha'Zix. But Lee Sin's good into Kha'Zix. And then against Xin Zhao, you have Poppy. But Poppy's bad against Trundle, who's good against Poppy and Sejuani. And like, jungle is just this big fucking... All these champs are all these massive circles.
XCD.
So the way drafting works is... I want to pick Jarvan. Can I pick Jarvan? And then you go through the levels, okay? You go through the levels with your player. I'll say their levels. I don't know. The best way to describe it is I want to play Jarvan in this draft because let's say they have Jinx, Syndra or something.
Right.
And I want to play Jarvan.
Jarvan's good into low mobility champs.
They're mobile carries. How do I get Jarvan and not lose value? I ask my jungler, can you blind Jarvan? And if he says to me no, if they pay Poppy or Lee Sin, I'm fucked. Okay, well I have to invest 2 bans for Jarvan now. Okay, that kind of sucks. If I'm picking Jarvan, let's say I'm red side.
I've heard this same thing from a lot of other different people. Players have much more control over the draft than coaches. That's what I've heard from literally everywhere, right? It's like you think coaches are the ones that doing the draft, like, because that would be like the most tangible way that you as a coach could really affect your team's play. Because you can't play the games. You can coach them and try to tell them to really do this in game, do this in game, do these comms, right? Drafting ultimately would be the most tangible way that an outsider who's not playing could affect the game. Yet players really have all the levers for draft. So like you're saying, it's like, man, Jarvan's really good right now, and you want to be able to pick Jarvan in this game. But your jungler is going to be the one that's going to tell you, it's like, no, I can't pick it in this spot, and I can't pick it in this spot. It's like, well, that's tough, because obviously the spot is really good for Jarvan if you play it correctly into this Jinx and Syndra, but he's like, I can't play it into Lee Sin. And maybe that's true, maybe it's not true. But the point is like, you as a coach would have to somehow either invest those bans, which 2 bans is a lot, by the way, just to save 1 pick. So you're investing a lot of draft resources into the 1 pick, or you have to convince your player somehow that it's like, or that this matchup is playable enough. Or you have to convince them to try it out in scrims, or logically explain to them and get them to understand that this matchup is fine and playable. And it's just so hard. It's so hard. I feel for coaches sometimes.
And I'm on 1, 2, 3, and on 3 I pick Jarvan. Now, do I have to invest 2 jungle bans? If they have, like, let's say they have Jinx, Syndra, and let's say they first picked, I don't know, Renekton. And my team wants Jarvan on 3. Okay? My team wants Jarvan on 3. Okay. Now, I could ban 2 junglers, sure, to stop him from getting things like Poppy and Lee Sin and stuff that are good with Syndra. Remember how I told you before, Syndra functions really well when you have champs like Lee Sin in the meta. So, Syndra Lee Sin for Jarvan is fucking horrible to play against sometimes. So, you can ban Lee Sin, you can ban Poppy, but now you're not banning out supports, maybe, which you want to counterpick on 5 with support. And you're not banning out blind supports.
The obvious compromise to me would be to just ban Lee Sin, because that's the worst thing they could possibly pick in the spot at that given moment. And then, you pick your Jarvan. Things like Jinx are great with champs like Lulu, Thresh, Tam were like things that could keep Jinx safe. Now I have to ask my support, can you counter these champs? Because I have to ban junglers, right? So the way you learn how to draft in League is you learn every role's iterations. And this is where coaches are like, obviously not every coach knows every role's champs, and players will have opinions on matchups, right? Like, for example, back in the day, I played against a mid laner called Exile in 2018. It was me, Exile, and Forbidden, okay? And the meta was, it was Vladimir meta. Vladimir mid and Azir. And I would ask, so when I was a mid laner, I actually thought Vladimir was good into Azir. I thought that was fine. I could play the lane pretty easily back in those days, and I liked it. Exile also kind of agreed, but I think Febiven was like, nah, Azir smashes him. So you have different opinions, right? And I'm not saying either of us was wrong. Essentially what I'm saying is your player on your team has an opinion of a matchup, right? So if he thinks it's good, then you just roll with it. So if, for example, my player says, nah, I think Jarvan into Lee Sin's fine, like it's fine, I just won't get caught and I can play it, then I don't have to invest a ban. But some players might be like, yeah, no, Lee Sin's pretty good into Jarvan, I have to ban it. So now I have to lose a ban, right? So it depends on what your player thinks. Right.
So player opinions are very important. The players will always have preferences, and they'll know what matchups are the best for them. From all of their experience of grinding scrims and solo queue, they will know what's good. Okay? And so essentially you just have to trust them. So what the coach can do is he kind of has to slot in and out sometimes. If you're...
Yeah, so it's really tough, especially when you're like on Western servers, right? Because there's a lot of Western servers blatantly aren't as good as Eastern servers, right? So you get a lot of weird reads on matchups, for one thing. But when you're the coach, right, you have to have a lot of give and take with your player. So sometimes, right, you're probably gonna... I imagine, I'm just guessing here, guys. Like, I'm not, coming from a point of authority, right? But it's like, I just imagine, like he's saying, all these players are gonna have their own opinions on matchups, right? And so you're really gonna want them to do things, and maybe even suffer sometimes, if it's really good for the draft, right? So, man, maybe we're just not feeling it today. I just totally lost it. Let's just let it play for now. Man, really? Where's that out of it? I just completely lost my train of thought. Maybe I'll react to this again sometime. This is really irritating. I should maybe just try to pause.
If you're a coach with knowledge of that lane, like I feel like I know basically almost every lane pretty well. Not to the extreme extremities of like a world-class laner, but I feel like I know basically almost most matchups. I can give my opinion, but they can tell me like, I think it's bad, I think it's good, I think it's bad, I think it's good. And if they say...
You don't have to be a world-class laner to generally know it's like, this lane's supposed to be good, this lane's supposed to be bad. It's like... I mean, there's lots of ways to find out that information. And for one thing, most pros, or what they do is they go and they look at what matchups are being opted into in the East, and they're like, all right, X player is willing to play this matchup, so if they're willing to play this matchup, then I should be willing to play this matchup too. I just got to figure out what they know about this matchup.
It's bad, you have to pivot. I think it's good, you can go that direction. So yeah. Like, for example, back in the days, Lee Sin was good into Olaf, right? Because obviously Olaf farms faster, but Lee Sin into Olaf can't punish Lee Sin because Lee Sin's too mobile. And also in teamfights, like Lee Sin just functions so much differently, right? He just kicks their backline and Olaf can't really do much about it. But yeah, people started changing their way they approach Olaf in Season 8. And Tarzan was the first one to do it. I've spoken about this before. But what he would do is start building things like Redemption on Olaf.
That's strange.
Well, Season 8 or Season 7. Maybe it was Season 9, actually. I can't remember. But in that meta, he started building differently on Olaf. He started going... The way to counter the Lee Sin, if they pick Lee Sin into Olaf, was you change your itemization. And the way he changed his itemization in this matchup was he would build Redemption and Knight's Vow. So now Lee Sin's value, just like against, like for example, Kha'Zix and Lee Sin and Nocturne champs that can work into Olaf, now the value's just gone down because all he does is go Ingenious Hunter with Biscuits. So he wins 1v1 and he builds support for his carries. And then you're like, well, fucking hell, this matchup's actually bad now. Because the matchup's gone from he can outfarm me, but I'll find his carries in fights to, well, now he can support his carries and outfarm me. And win 1v1 because he has Biscuits. So matchups are good in some ways, but sometimes matchups can change depending on how people itemize, and they can like break matchups. And if you can break a matchup, that's really good. And you can become...
Okay. I'm going to try to break this here and actually try to say something, right? Instead of bumbling over myself, right? I think this is showing a huge difference in perception about how fans versus people like coaches and players actually view the draft, right? So I think we'll go over here, fan side, right? And then coach side. I feel like a lot of fans, what they're going to zone in on most of the time is going to be like things like comp, like identity, I guess, is what I'd say, is like comp themes. They're gonna be like, hey, does this comp have engage? Does this have poke? Does this have this? Like this general idea of a comp identity. which maybe that has to do a lot with like LS, right? Just because that's something he's always really big on and he's pushed a lot. And he's obviously very popular in the space. Maybe this is due to him, but I think that's one thing that fans are generally more concerned about than pros. And I think the other thing is scaling, right? I think a lot of times when I see draft evaluations from chat and things like this, the scaling draft is given a lot more. It is assigned a much higher value, even when it's not like a significant scaling advantage. I think that's the big thing. It's like most of the times, especially with the levels of pro play and how far away it would be from computer perfect, that if you just have similar scaling in a draft, you're totally fine to be able to play out a game, even if it's not perfect. Like you can play into super scaling champs later in the game by just playing your draft well. I'm noticing from Cajal, right? He's coming from, coach / player perspective. He's talking a lot about matchups. That's like his big thing right now. He's talking a ton about matchups, like who's good into who, and generally, it sounds like he's talking about most champs in isolation, like in lane, or maybe in like the mid jungle duo pair, right? Matchups is a big thing, and matchups generally are like a early game thing. The nature of most matchups can change quite drastically as the game continues, but you notice he's very zoned in on having a certain amount of strength from minute 1 of the game. It's very interesting. The other thing, yeah, I'd say this is pretty much it for now. That's the big thing he's been talking about is matchups, and then like meta picks. It's like, what's strong? What can I blind? The other thing that he's kind of talking about here is, I guess, player... I'm not sure I want to call it. We'll call it, like, player mastery, I suppose, right? Player mastery on a champion plays a big role in things. He didn't directly say player mastery, but when we're talking about a difference in opinion between, like, if Vlad versus Lee Sin is good, right? That's a difference in mastery. There is an objective answer to whether or not Azir versus Vlad is good, right? Someone's wrong on whether or not this is what either side of this matchup is particularly good or not. So player mastery plays a big part in deciding, or for a coach deciding who can play what champion in a draft, right? So some players, because of their mastery on a champion, might perceive Jarvan as too bad and Lee Sin to play, and other players might think this is not true. And part of it also depends on the champion mastery of the players that you're playing against, right? So if someone is in scrims and they're running every game against Lee Sin in their scrims, right, consistently, part of it might just be that there's not actually a good enough Lee Sin player anywhere in your region to actually challenge you on the matchup. Like, there's no one with enough knowledge or enough skill in this matchup in order to punish you on Jarvan. So it's like you're in a U, you might think that Jarvan actually can play into Lee Sin just fine, and then you go play into Canyon Lee Sin, and you're like, I literally can't play the game. And it can be hard to diagnose. It's like, is it because the matchup is actually bad, and Canyon, is just like understands how to make this winning enough, or is it that the difference between Canyon and whatever EU jungler is actually so big that the champion pick didn't even matter in the first place. Like, it didn't really matter what the matchup was. It would be extremely difficult for a player of whatever ex-EU caliber in order to play almost any matchup versus Canyon. There's a lot of things that go into that. Player mastery is just like probably the biggest decider in draft. And I like hearing Dom and Kadril talk about this, right? Because I think if there was ever one hole in draft analysis that I feel like LS had, it's that he doesn't put player context high enough in his draft evaluations. Which maybe it doesn't matter as much as I think it does, because I'm pretty sure he has a pretty good... my source is him, right? Him saying that he has a pretty good draft prediction win rate. But, I think this does matter. And he doesn't take it into account enough. And I think something that's really been good about Dom over time is that he's started talking also about ideal picks more in his game, right? If you listen to Dom, change about how he talks over the... if you've listened to Dom change about how he talks about the game and draft over time, it feels like he's incorporated some amount of, like, LS's kind of picking, like, theory optimal draft strategies, right? He'll at least mention alternate options to things that players can pick, even if he doesn't think that they will pick them because of champion mastery. And I think that's something I've noticed that makes me feel like Dom's really grown in his knowledge, where, not everybody does this. I do think this is, like, probably the most key in terms of, like, what you have as far as draft can be played. But I also think I was going to try to get into this earlier, and then I stopped myself. I also think something that doesn't get through to a lot of people. What's a good way to erase? We'll just clear this for now. I think also another thing that doesn't get to a lot of people is the fact that champion mastery in pro play and in solo queue work very differently. I think if I were to try to make a graph, right? I think champion mastery in solo queue pretty much scales infinitely. I think as you get better at a champion, you'll generally climb. Not every champion's mastery curve is going to look like this, right? But I think you can pretty much play any champion up to masters just based on being good enough at that champion. I think after that, you'll get to a point where it's like, maybe the meta isn't favorable to that champion, or that champion is just actually weak at a certain given moment. But I think generally you can hit apex tiers on any champion. I think the game is that well balanced at the moment. I think in pro play, it's a little bit different. I think in pro play, I should use a different type of graph here. I think in pro play, actually, what's most important is that champion strength does most of the carrying, but once you need to hit like a floor. Oh, a floor for the champion. And once you're like good enough to play something in a pro game, like enough about the laning and the team fighting, and you have the ability to execute on it, the rest of the champion strength, we'll call this bar like the champion strength, it's just carried by the context of the game. And kind of what I just mean by that is like, I think once you can play Jarvan at a certain level, and you can avoid getting ran over in a game, if the champion in the context of the game, for example, like Jarvan, like we keep mentioning, into a million different immobile champions, as long as you can play the matchup to the point against Lee Sin, we are not getting completely ran over and blasted, and they're getting very unnatural levels of lead, I think you'll find that what Jarvan can provide in the game is going to be way more valuable, even if they're not the best Jarvan player in the entire world, than what Lee Sin can provide in the game, given particular context, right? I think this starts to matter much more in pro play in terms of extracting value than champion mastery does. I think the ceiling is what's important in solo queue. You can climb on any champion you want, all the way up to pretty much the top, and I think it's the floor that really matters in pro play. I hope I said that right. Ceiling in solo queue, floor in pro play. You just need to get to a certain level in pro, and then picking something at a good spot is great. Hope that made some amount of sense. I will say, like, I know that I'm not doing the best job about explaining everything and all my ideas as clearly as possible. I don't even totally understand all of my actual thoughts about the game and everything. So I hope you guys will, kind of bear with me while I'm trying to figure out how to talk to people and how to listen and respond to feedback and hear myself and hear what I'm saying. And a lot of times I'll be saying this stuff and I'll be like, man, that sounds really stupid. So you just know that I'm kind of with you guys in terms of being confused about where I'm going with this for the moment.
Who the fuck is calling me? Hold up. Oh yeah, breaking matchups. That's why I think anyone who can break meta matchups essentially becomes meta defining. Two great examples of recent times is like Zeus. He kind of broke top lane matchups a bit because he became insane at Yone. And that was a huge reason why they won Worlds in 2023. You couldn't blind Yone versus Zeus, which was one of the best blind picks. But everyone else didn't play Yone.
Aatrox, he means.
So when it came to Worlds last year, if you blinded Aatrox, he would just slam Yone into it. And now the best blind top laner on the patch.
Okay, well, so the other big thing about that, right, is Zeus wasn't just really good at playing this Yone and Aatrox counterpick, but he was also one of, if not the best Aatrox in the entire world. So you get in this situation where, okay, I have to use my draft resources wisely, right? And normally I would just blind pick my Aatrox top laner, but he has a really good counterpick to that. Okay, so we leave Aatrox. Oh, but if we give him Aatrox, that's also one of his best champions and a really strong blind pick for them. So just like, man, do we ban Aatrox? Do we just accept the counter? Maybe we could get drafted edges elsewhere or something like this. It creates a really hard draft scenario to deal with.
Is now fucked. Another good example is like Beryl. Yeah, his Heimerdinger was insane and pivotal in a matchup where bot push is everything. He's the one who starts busting out Heimerdinger support and getting bot push. So you're sitting in this meta where like this guy is just broken the meta. Like what the fuck do you do now? Do you try and counter Heimerdinger? Do you learn it? Well, I've only got a week of Worlds and I'm in the World semifinals and this motherfucker's playing, well, not this one. Let's say I'm in group stage. This motherfucker's playing Heimerdinger in group stage. Worlds is only 2 or 3 weeks long. Your player needs to either learn Heimerdinger in 2 weeks, or he needs to find a counter to it quick. And no one found a counter to it. Everyone had to ban it. I mean, they gave it a go, but yeah.
Pog, let's go, man.
So you can either itemize or you can break it by learning.
This is one thing I don't understand when pro players said that they want to save picks for important series. I feel like it's actually really strong to show picks early on because it gives you future draft edges, right? I mean, maybe you don't want to like be busting out your ultimate secret OP pick, in week 1 of the split, but when you start getting into important games that are deciding, maybe playoff positions, or you're getting into playoffs in the first place, you're playing a playoff series, now you could be in real trouble if you don't win your playoff series. I think you should be bringing out your big picks, even if you don't necessarily think you need them, because later down the line, other teams are going to have to look at that and be like, oh, this is a thing that they can do now. Right? It's like, now if we do this style of draft, they might just slam this really hard counter into it, and that might, mean we have to ban something. And if you're forcing your teammate to ban, or your opponent to ban something, that means you can get something somewhere else. So I feel like generally, this idea behind saving really good picks, it tends to be a little bit silly, at least to the degree that we see it. Like, I feel like teams will draft completely standard all the way until they lose a tournament. And then, or like, they'll be in game 5 of a series, and then we'll see like the Zeri mid and the Rek'Sai top, and it's like, all right, but it's not even that good of a spot for it. You just feel like you have to bust out something in this moment, and so you're kind of like, busting out something new, even when it's not in its optimal spot, just because maybe you feel like you have to use it before the season ends. And I think it's very strange. It'd be better to have those as draft threats the whole time, in my opinion.
Champs, or having specific champs that are really good into it. Like Adam's Darius is a good example of something that he can play in certain matchups. Like I think now,
and he was drawing like 4 bans every game.
But I think Darius versus Renekton, if you're a very good Darius, you can play that matchup. I might be crazy, but I was hearing someone say that if you play Darius into Renekton well, you can play it. But no one does it. No one. But Adam does. So the Renekton either hasn't played against Darius a lot, which is good for the Darius, or you kind of break their blind pick. If you have a player who plays Darius, now you can't blind Renekton. You're just fucked. So, yeah, League's all about how far do you want.
That's my other thing that I don't get, is there are players that will have very little going for them. Like, they're not perceived as the strongest laner in the league, and they don't have a crazy champion pool, and then they won't invest time into learning something like this, right? Because of, like, some fear that if you take the time to learn Darius top lane into Renekton, then your time will somehow be wasted, right? But the fact of the matter is, if it takes a lot of upfront time in order to learn Darius into Renekton, then not a lot of players are going to do it, and so it's probably not going to get nerfed, right? My other thing is, it gives you a huge draft edge. Like, if Renekton's going to be one of the most popular blind picks in the game for, like, years and years and years now, yeah, go learn Darius into Renekton. It's like, obviously, you can't know that a pick's going to be meta for years and years and years. But when you're at, year 3 of, like, Renekton or Cassante or whatever being super meta, and you're like, oh, Darius seems like he's pretty good into this shit. It's like, yeah, go learn some Darius. That's going to make you an asset in draft if you can come in and you can play this champion well. So maybe for the highest level pros, right, this isn't worth the time because they'll just pick the standard Renekton lane and win anyways. But if you're like a mid to bottom player in your league, just learn how to play Darius. I think this is how actually a lot of mid to bottom players get their rise to the top, right? I think my favorite example is a player like Zeka. This guy was like melee mid guy, right? And you know what? That's a usable asset. People don't spam a lot of melee mids, but there's some decent melee mids in the meta, and he forced them in a lot of their games. And when they were meta, he became an insanely high-level asset. And he was able to procure spots on top teams and get accolades. And this also gave him more time in order to become pretty decent at mages, right? He actually kind of bought job security by having a specialized champ pool that was very good against the meta. When you have this player where you can clearly find some amount of value in by having these unique picks, then it's like, it's easy for teams to look at your resume and be like, all right, I can use him in this way, and you're a known quantity that I can work with. I think it's very valuable. I mean, you might seem limited, right? But I think this is why we still see a player like Leader getting on teams. It's like, yeah, he's a melee mid specialist, but he's quite good at melee mids, and if you work that into your game plan, then you can still be quite effective. Even though we haven't really seen Leader teams be extremely effective, but I think it's why he keeps getting jobs, is because there's a very clear way forward. And I think that's going to allow Leader to get more time in whatever tier 1 and 2 leagues and give him more opportunities to shore up his champ pool. I think APA had this as well. One of my favorite things about APA is that he really seems to have been constantly improving over time. Especially when he joined LCS initially, he was a very specialized player, and he pretty much remained a specialized player until Fearless Draft hit him very hard. Not only did Fearless Draft hit him pretty hard, but Nico and Aesol dropped out of the meta, which were two of his best champs, right? So he got hit really hard by factors that were pretty much outside his control, despite, looking up and, improving in some ways over time, right? But I think he had this really big fall off when we saw Fearless meta come up, and now we're seeing that he has more champions that he's starting to look effective on. Like, he's starting to look much more effective than he used to on champions like Victor and Annie, right? I think those would be. I think it's like as far as his newer champ pool goes, those are some of his better ones. But now he's not like, well, Talia's gone, you can't play the game anymore, right? Ziggs is gone, you can't play the game anymore. I think he has other champions we're seeing that he's effective on, and he's willing to pick stuff like Swain in spots where it's good. So I approve. I feel like he's improved over time, and his level of specialization being so effective against meta champions, like being a good Ziggs player is so incredibly valuable. It just counters the entire pool of control mages, at least in a vacuum, right? So it's really valuable to be good at that champion, and so you can guarantee draft value with it. And as a result, you get time. You get teams that are willing to invest in you and see where you go, and they are a very clear tool for them to use.
I'm gonna go.
Not my most coherent rant ever, but it is what it is. We're just freeballing it lately.
Because as much as like you put in hours and hours and hours of practice, some of these champions like Darius, you need games. You need so many games. You can't just play 10 games of Darius and win. I feel like Darius and Yone are champs where you need hundreds of games, and then you can really focus.
But champs like these make you so insanely valuable. Like I really think players should be putting times into champions that hard counter certain meta champs, or even a field of meta champs, right? Like Yone, you can play into a lot of different matchups, and it means you have an angle that many players don't have, right? It's like it's a big weakness of a player like APA, right? That he doesn't have this tool in his bag, right? His version of it is Ziggs, right? You can also play Ziggs into a lot of the same matchups that Yone is very comfortable playing into, and then scaling into the game. But Ziggs actually just wins the matchup instead. So maybe Ziggs is actually even a better trick to have in your hat than Yone is, in my opinion. But that being said, right, is like when you have these champions in your pool, it gives your team a lot more options to work with. You can also do more funny drafts. I think I have a lot of respect for top laners like Broken Blade and Dokla, who even though they aren't always the best player, they're always willing to pick the good matchups. They're like, this should be winning enough for me to find value, and I'm just going to go for it. The big one is Gnar, right? They're picking the Yasuo and the Aurelia or the Anivia or whatever into Gnar is a big sign of someone who's really looking for upside. And I find that very valuable.
Focus up. And that's why grind set's important, right? Because the more you grind, the more you can expand your pool, the more you learn champs, and you can be a 10 on 3 champs, or you can sometimes maybe be an 8 on 8 champs. Maybe you can be a 10 on 1 or 2 champs because of your one tricks, and then you expand out. But I think the main thing is when you have OTPs and they eventually go to pro, their OTPs, they get a little bit worse at them, but they obviously learn more champs, right? So yeah, meta's a weird thing. Meta is a very weird thing. I think I could sit here for another hour describing to you every role about every champ and all that shit.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's all fucking... Like, Caitlyn is a good example, right? A lot of people say to T1, they say, Gumayushi, you should just blind Caitlyn. Just pick Caitlyn. Just pick Caitlyn. It's so good. Just play Caitlyn Lux. And it's so much more complicated than that, right? What's the count to Caitlyn? So Caitlyn gets counted by caster ADs. Anything like Ashe, Jhin, Varus, Ziggs, MF, maybe, kinda. These champs are pretty good into Caitlyn because they're caster ADs. They clear the wave faster. They can match her range with their poke. Obviously, Caitlyn's good against champs that are short range. I mean, everyone will know that the hardest counter for champs like Sivir, champs like Vayne, even champs like Ezreal can kind of struggle a little bit for Caitlyn. And then Caitlyn in itself is like a bubble. Now you have to figure out support. Well, where are they going to ban Lux? Yeah, Kai'Sa, for example. Where are they going to ban Lux? When are they going to ban Lux? How can I get Lux? Obviously, Lux is like a big part of Caitlyn. But if the enemy team has got a Blitzcrank play, or they've got a champ like, I don't know, even a Nautilus lane with Kalista, you're essentially like playing 2 different styles. Let's say they play Kalista Naut versus Caitlyn Lux. Bot lane is completely Armageddon. It's like World War fucking 10 in bot lane. Because one side, Caitlyn Lux wants to push, hold the push, and poke. One side wants to all in level 2 onwards. So they need to push and they need to all in. So what happens? The game is all about bot. Both junglers path bot, and that's where the game turns into a really weird state. Let's take Caitlyn Lux versus Nautilus Kalista, for
Boost the
example. Random
XPP.
matchup. Let's say
This is
Caitlyn Lux
nice.
is red side, Nautilus Kalista is...
Do you really not have the option of not pushing on Caitlyn Lux into a lane like Kalista Nautilus? You can't just, like, set up some sort of freeze on Caitlyn Lux? Is that not a thing? Is freezing in bot lane just not a thing? Because I feel like one of the beauties of top lane, right, is if you're significantly stronger than your opponent, or you have really good range on your opponent, you know, you can pull the wave in a way which they don't actually have the option of engaging on you without getting into a really bad situation. Because I think Yamato Cannon was one that said this. It's like most champions are actually just, you know, become better if the enemy opponent is running into you. This is true, I think, of Caitlyn Lux too. If you could just sit on your tower with a huge, you know, pile of minions under you and keep a freeze by using your range, then I'd just imagine that you'd be in a good situation. Maybe not, but I just feel like you should have more options than pushing and turning into a super scrappy bot lane.
blue side. Very fun matchup, but you need to push. So, I want the push on red side. So how do you path?
Ads, 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 ads.
Shut up,
So
man.
many fucking ads in it.
Shut up, sorry. So how do you play the game? Caitlyn Lux will get pushed level 1. What do you do as your red side jungler? Do you start on red? Is that what you do? Do you start on red? You could do 3 camps and path down. That's the obvious, right? So you finish bot side. What if enemy jungle does red into your blue and takes your grump? And now he's level 3 first in bot while you're here. Now you have no camps here as a jungler. His camps are up here. How does jungle...
Well, so your concern here is like you want to path bot early as a jungler, right? So you're thinking like your red side jungler, you're like, to make sure my bot lane doesn't get screwed over too hard, you want to path bot. But because you start top side, you give your opponent the option of playing the split map, right? If the opponent decides to do their camps like he says and go to, you know, this and then do this, then your only way to really stay in the game is either to, whatever, find some crazy fight or something or gank, or to actually just go from your camps, find knowledge of this somehow, right? Either predict the play or find knowledge of the play. But really, it's like, you now need to go play his camp and split the map, which wasn't your intention. That's not what you wanted to do, right? So I think I'm trying to play this like a quiz show. I'm learning here. I'm trying to answer the question before he gives the answer. So I learned something, right? So I think the actual answer is you start bot side here. Maybe what you do, you can do 3 camp bot side. You just 3 camp bot. Wolves start might be good. You're like Wolves, Gromp, Blue. If they start top side. No, they started red, right? I mean, this is fine. Can't you just Wolves, Gromp, Blue, hover if need be, depending on wave state, and then head to your red side? There's also the clear right now that's somewhat popular. There's this version of the clear where you start like Raptors, and then whatever you go, red, Krugs, and then recall, and then come out to your Wolves. But you could also, because of new home guards, so he's working on a different era in time than I am, right? But you can also come out bot lane with new home guards, and they won't go away until you either dip into the jungle or you get to the lane, right? So you could also 3 camp to open bot. That might be good. And then you have your buy first. Kind of depends on what you're playing, right? But I don't think he's not suggesting you do this. You're saying he's describing a scenario in which you get screwed. But I don't think you start top side if you think they might start bot side and you're looking to come bot as soon as possible, right? You're not going to 3 camp at the gate and to go bot side if you're worried about this scenario. I don't think, anyways. I don't know. Let's see what he has to say. I'm also not a jungler, keep in mind.
play? Do you sacrifice your bot lane to get these camps, or do you hover bot and fall behind? Right? Another option is, what else could they do? How do you reset this? What else could you do? You could, if you want to. Another option is you could fucking you could late invade bot, right? Let's try and split the map. Split the map bot. That's a very classic. What if they 4-man stack to cover your late invade? And they use their top laner as well. Right? What if they're all stacking here to defend their bot side? And then their top laner sacrifices his TP to make sure they have a numbers advantage to stop the invade. That's another option. What if the Kalista Nautilus just lane swaps and they go top? What if the Kalista Nautilus... Another thing that happens a lot is sometimes you'll see games where level 1, everyone runs out of base. You'll see that sometimes. Everyone runs out of base. And they all run bot. Have you ever seen that? Do you know why they do that? It's so that they can get there first. So what the Kalista Nautilus can do is they can come here, level 1. They can put a ward in this bush. And now Caitlyn Lux can't get the push level 1. Because if they get walk up, they're going to get hooked and they die. Because Kalista Nautilus is really strong level 1. Right. So how do you hit the wave? You have to kind of like play in the wave and play a bit back. Which is not ideal. Whereas if the Caitlyn Lux have wards here, and they can be the ones first here, right? Then they can get the push and control the lane a lot better. So a lot of teams will go bot level 1. Another good example of this is Renekton versus Jace top, for example. Renekton versus Jace top. If Jace has this bush with a ward, Jace's level 1 is insane. Whereas if Renekton can get a top bush ward, and here, his level 1's a lot safer. Yeah, the game, you have to learn a lot about the game. There's a lot of random stuff to learn. About the game. Jungle pathings, to lane phases, to level 1 lanes, to like the amount of games that can be lost level 1 is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Like luckily they've changed the map here to make it a lot harder to do like camp invades, for example. And you don't see it as much, but it's just an example of how you can cheese to fuck a bot lane, right? Like bot lane is screwed if your jungler does that and your jungler can't enter. But
I'm pretty sure, like, this is a pretty vague scenario where you don't know exactly what the champions are. I'm pretty sure if you're looking at this bot lane situation, if he's describing it, and you start your red side, you're probably an Inter. Maybe if you start, like, Raptors into this. But I'm not exactly sure. Like I said, game's changed since he made this video, so I'm just not sure. You might have very different opinions on it right now.
This is why drafting 2 pushing lanes is hard, right? Let's say you're playing Jace top and Caitlyn Lux bot. Well, top lane wants to push, bot lane wants to push, but your jungler's a jungler. Where's he gonna go? If he hovers spot, what if enemy jungle like ganks your Jace or dives your Jace and now your Jace loses push and vice versa, right? So this is why sometimes you'll see drafts have sides that are weak side and some champs that are blindable like Renekton or Cassante or Ornn. Mostly Renekton, Cassante or Gnar, for example, are good on weak sides because Gnar can time his Mega, maybe Mega ult the wave if he can control the...
My perspective would generally be if that you get the option to win bot lane and your opponent cross maps and they make the Renekton side winning into the Jace by, ganking top lane, that overall you're pretty happy with this situation, right? Like, sure, you don't want your Jace to be behind, of course, but if you have winning bot and you have winning top, like, in general, this is good. At least I thought, right? So you're actually not upset about this if you're red side. Or if you're blue side. I think, yeah, blue side's top, red side's. Blue side's bot, red side's top.
Way better because he's ranged. Renekton has a really strong counter dive with his ult and clearing the wave and having healing, and he's got really good trading. He's really strong early, so if you draft a strong bot side, then you can play through bot quite safely. Cassante is also pretty impossible to dive. And you can accelerate the game in different ways, right? Let's say my bot lane's winning, my AD carry's ahead, and my top lane's losing. I can base, run top, take over top lane. My top lane can base and go...
Well, something that's really nice, again, about top lane, and that Alphari was always very good at, this was Alphari's big thing, like on Gangplank, right? Is you could pick him a strong matchup, like you could play like the Gangplank into the Renekton, right? And he was very hard to dive. You could play your winning bot. This was the whole plan on Team Liquid. It didn't end up working out this way, but you can have your Hans core bot lane with Santorin, Bjergsen, or whatever, playing to get bot really ahead and diving over here, right? And what Alphari will do, because he's winning in his lane, is he'll control the wave so that it stays right here. And he'll pull the wave and he'll keep it right there as long as he possibly can. And if they try to force him off the wave, he's going to throw all his abilities and blow up the wave, and maybe they'll still kill him, but he'll be fine. He's going to do a good death like Baus, right? This is sort of the nature of how it's good to play top lane, right? This is one of the reasons why Rumble, despite being a quote-unquote carry champion, is actually a very strong topside champion. Because in the modern day, having the strong lane doesn't mean you have push necessarily. It means you have control over the wave. These are two very different levels. Having to have push isn't as strong as having control over the wave. If you have the opportunity to control the wave in a lane rather than just being forced to shove in all the time, then you can create situations where even if your opponent can dive you, you can still collect all your minions and make it much more winning, right? Because if top lane is dying, but he's not only is he one person, but he's collecting all the CS, right? Then that's not going to be nearly as bad as if they push wave and, you get 2 kills over here, right, on bot lane, and then also they're losing whatever wave you stacked in order to dive because they weren't able to blow up the wave in time. And so they're minus CS. And he's, whatever, neutral CS.
So here, my top lane's Cassante, he can't get dove, but enemy top lane is a cannon, let's say, and cannon gets insta one-shot on the tower. So this guy's sitting here, my Cassante farming on the tower, and they can't dive him, they're just looking at him with all his chain vests, whereas my bot lane is fucking far ahead, and their top laner is really squishy and just getting one-shot, right? So now you're in a situation where the enemy team has accelerated the game by basing and swapping lanes, and you have 2 options. Option 1, base and run top, and lose out on a wave, and be late to top. And when they base and run top, what happens if they base and run bot when they show? Now what? They've swapped again. And this is what happens when you see mismatch of swaps. You see this a lot in pro play. When a bot lane is ahead or winning, you'll see them mismatch lanes. Or if they're obviously losing, they might mismatch lanes, right? Why saying Pogga?
Well, yeah, this is something that's definitely a weak point in my game knowledge, right? Because I'm not sure as who it's actually supposed to be better for lane swapping, right? If you have, I guess it depends on the champions and their scalings is maybe the biggest deal, right? But if you have the winning bot lane, your advantage of swapping into the enemy top laner is that you're going to get an even greater lead than the enemy bot might get, right? But at the same time, the enemy bot lane, if they have weak lane, but they're good at scaling, you can not have to play into this really hard lane. You still 2v1 and you're ranged into the enemy top laner. So you have very good laning in that situation, and you can scale into the game. I think, so generally the swapping, like mismatching your bot into the top laner, is generally good for the weaker lane. Hopefully you didn't draft a worse laning bot and a worse scaling bot. That's just an L, but I think this is how this is supposed to work. Generally, the winning bot wants to be matched into the enemy bot lane.
Yeah,
so they can get
it's also really weird. And then mid push is also important, right? Let's say I have Talia mid, and they're trying to dive my top laner, and I'm trying to dive their bot laner, whatever it is. If their mid laner has mid push and can fog really easily, he can help on the top dive in the 4v1 so the Cassante can't live. And vice versa, maybe he has Talia ult. If enemy mid's on the tower showing and enemy top's on the tower showing, then he knows that they can only be 3-man bot. And if he has Talia ult, he can cover them. What if they have TP on their mid laner as well? What if their AD carry's playing Ziggs, Caitlyn or whatever and has TP? Like Caitlyn would go TP into Ziggs, right? There's like so many random factors you have to think about. But I think these things are very easy things to know if you play pro play a lot. Or if you scrim a lot. These things just come second nature to you. But you always need to have like a checklist. From meta to game to draft, you always need this checklist in your head.
No, that was very interesting. I like getting to hear Kadril talk about that. That's my favorite side of Kadril's. Like, I really like his, really cool analysis side. I also think he tends to be pretty funny too. But this is my favorite type of Kadril. Is hearing him talk about all this stuff and getting to learn what he has to say. Especially since out of the co-streamers, at least out of like LS and I Will Dominate and Kadril, I probably watch Kadril the least. So I'm more informed about what I Will Dominate and what LS think about the game. And so I like watching these videos to kind of catch up on where Kadril's at with his perspectives and things like that. I hope you guys kind of enjoyed that conversation. Have a good day. Probably have to edit out some bits where I kind of rambled on. I started drawing things about like player mastery and things like this, I think like twice during that video, and ended up just kind of fumbling there. So we'll edit those parts out, and I think everything else will just like let run naturally. I think I do want to. I actually do want to play more. The only thing right now is I'm starting to get hungry. How many games did I play? I think just the 2 today. Yeah, I'll put in at least one more game. I think I should do at least one more. And maybe I'll head up to the grocery store or something. Interesting. Alright, top lane this game. That's kind of a shame. Maybe I'll still get a good Sylas or Aurora game, but probably not. Probably not.
On you!
I need more water. Sylas is banned anyways. Alright, that's what it is.
Into the auto. So not only am I
It looks like we probably do get to play some AP this game. Typically I play Rumble when I'm blind picking. Rumble is the better blind pick. What's the other thing I could be going? There's something else I had in mind for top lane. Riven? Mordekaiser? What the frick was it? I can't even remember anymore.
Let's get in the
Oh, it's
fight.
fine. We'll just play Rumble. There's a Soraka. Is this a Soraka top that I'm playing against? Is that what's happening right now? Yes, I think this is Soraka top. Interesting. Let's go with this. I mean, I guess that's chill. I don't think it should be a big deal to play into Soraka. It's Blitzcrank. It's not even Soraka. Well, alrighty. Can't say I was expecting it. I don't have the slightest clue how this this might go. Looks like he went to kill me in lane, so I'll be a little bit careful.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
It's like that's why my mouse feels weird. It's the sensitivity is down.
Minions have spawned.
I turn it down while I'm drawing. Rumble needs more love, man. And a VFX update extremely badly.
Ever looked up to a Yordle?
I'm a little bit scared of Halo Blades early. We're just gonna sit back and hit our E's. That's the plan. Played super aggressive early. We kinda knew this is gonna be some sort of cheese lane, so that's why we just chill.
You don't have to tell me twice.
I think it probably has E start.
Revved up.
Guy's just walking up to us.
Now it's cooking.
I might have given him too much respect, to be honest. Oh. I was hoping to at least tag him with that.
You never ask.
Yeah. Giving a little bit of respect to your opponent's pick can be quite effective. I don't know what to do with my wave here.
Alright, I'm going.
Probably just base, teleport. Look at like Dark Seal Amp Tome. Call it a day.
Who wants a
An
piece
ally
of
has been slain.
The bigger they are, the harder I hit them.
Jungler's over there. Don't have too much to worry about.
Hold her steady.
Got me all my flame was up. Yeah, he seems pretty weak to be. Oh, right, the Deathfire touch. I just have the base now. That wasn't good. You're not supposed to get hit by that. Not just the hook, but that turret shot. The Deathfire touch got me. I don't really think we're gonna get that much value out of neither boots nor refill. So we're just gonna go an extra long Amp Tome. That's unfortunate. I don't really want to see if I jinx this game. Or Nyla's O2, but the lane does look hard. Ugh, Son of Nyla just sounds like it would not be good in most lanes. Maybe it's fine. We're just gonna chill. We're living the top lane life. Low impact, low cortisol.
Baby, don't fail me now.
You actually recalling?
Now we're cooking.
Just chill vibes, I guess. I wonder what he's building. He has a hung sword sapphire crystal. I cannot tell you what that is.
An ally has been
Or is he
slain.
going Monomoon? Is he gonna hit some like breakpoint I've never heard of where he one-shots me? Kinda sad about the losing situation down there. So he doesn't even kill?
An enemy has been slain. Down. Enemy
Well, what's the point?
slain an enemy.
He had to use literally everything to kill me. And he trades,
All right,
even.
I'm going.
Already. Weird, but okay. The wave ends up pretty good for him. It's gonna slow push back to him, I
Hold her
guess.
steady.
Maybe that's good for good enough.
This is gonna be bumpy.
Try to get this in to the best of my ability, I suppose.
Ever look up to a yordle?
An enemy has been slain. Enemy
I'm
killing
really not sure what I'm
spree.
looking at here.
Enemy double kill.
Oh, Sejuani was here. I didn't think I had a tank there. Kinda sucks. I'm gonna save my TP here. He can't push. I don't know. It's just a weird game. A little demotivating, to be honest. Like, bot lane's just losing so hard. And this top lane pick is just so... like, I don't know. So unserious.
Now we're cooking. Time for a Vandal City beatdown.
Okey doke.
You don't have to tell me twice.
An enemy is unstoppable. Enemy double kill.
Guy just one-shots me now, or what?
Who wants a piece of this?
Why does he one-tap me with Tiamat? Should I get armor? I don't even know.
All right, I'm going.
An enemy has been slain. Enemy Enemy rampage. Shut down.
Hold her steady.
An enemy has been slain.
Ever look up to a yordle? Revved up. Who you calling little? Now we're cooking.
Your turret has been destroyed.
You don't have to tell me twice.
I don't really understand the mechanisms by which he wins these. Does he like have really good scaling? I don't know. I really don't know anything about what's happening in front of me right now.
An enemy is
I mean, Rumble's never been very like, I mean not never, but I mean
All right, I'm going.
the way he's balanced right now, he doesn't have a very strong all-in. You kind of do have to get a health lead unless someone like sits in your ult and you get your full overheat and everything's perfect.
An enemy has been slain.
Who wants a piece of this? Ever looked up to a yordle?
Pretty good.
Hold her steady.
An enemy has been slain. Killing spree.
Who you calling little?
Killing spree.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I don't know. I just kind of rather not be here anymore.
An ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed. Enemy double kill.
I think I'm being a bit too much of a downer, but I just didn't feel like there was anything really to do. Like, I don't know how to interact with my lane. Like, I don't really understand what's happening, obviously. And then on top of that, Sejuani ganked a lot. So, there wasn't much to be done.
Ready for round 2.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
The bigger they are, the harder I hit them.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Who wants a piece of this?
Just a really boring, low interaction game.
Ever looked up to a yordle?
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Revved up.
An enemy has been slain.
Hold her steady.
Enemy rampage.
Going little.
Enemy double kill.
You don't have to tell me twice. Who wants a piece of this?
Your turret has been destroyed. Ally has been slain. slain. Remember,
All right, I'm going. Ever looked up to a yordle?
I don't have anything to help him here. I guess got a little bit of help. Nice, okay. Okay. I believe. And he's dead. We couldn't just stop after the one shutdown.
your team has destroyed a turret.
Wrapped up.
Huh?
Double kill.
What? What's happening? She just one-shot them. Did she just get like lucky? Did she get like 10 million crits in a row or something? Like what?
An ally
Who
has been
lost?
slain.
Well, now she's dead. Like, maybe they randomly end up throwing because they think the game's too far over. What am I looking at on this Blitzcrank right now? Seriously, someone needs to explain this to me.
Enemy killing spree.
You don't have to tell me twice.
It's like there's so little interaction in the game. They just have a ton of CC. We didn't do anything early. I guess maybe we don't have the agency to. I don't know. Maybe you and I could play some 2v2 top lane.
Little.
But we didn't do that. Sejuani's been everywhere and we've been doing nothing.
Has been slain. Enemy rampage.
Never asked.
Your turret has been destroyed. Enemy rampage.
My ward died. My ward died. That I was gonna
Who wants a
TP too.
piece of this?
These things are freaking killing me, man. I can't kill them. I'm silenced still. I don't know, man. I'm so confused. Just my everything hurts. My soul, my everything.
Ace.
I guess I'll get a bloodletter so maybe face can do some damage or something. I don't even know, man. I don't even know what's happening. Like, surely this cannot be a real game of League of Legends that I'm playing right now. It's just so bad. So bad. So bad.
Revved up. Now we're cooking. You don't have to tell me twice.
Trading Baron here is a game-losing call. The only time you can actually trade Baron... Oh... Oh, sorry, not that one.
Your turret has been destroyed.
The only time you should actually trade Baron for Soul is if you could pretty much end the game off of it or secure so much of a lead that it is the equivalent of the end game, right? But because otherwise they're just going to resist the Baron, and then after the Baron's over, you're just going to lose the game because they're stronger than you because they're roughly 4k extra gold that you can't catch up in power from the Soul. So you never want to do that trade. Luckily, they're just going to hit the Drake right now. Kind of sucks that we're losing this inhib, but just the nature of me getting caught there.
Hold her steady. Who wants a piece of this?
We're just like showing all bot side again.
Who you calling Will?
You have slain an enemy.
I don't know, it's just the lowest quality game that I've played in such a long time. It's not even like a particularly good kind of Fiesta.
Now we're cooking.
It's just bad. It's just really bad. And embarrassing.
Cover them.
This is gonna be bumpy.
Hearts beat together.
You don't have to tell me twice. Hold her steady.
Shut down. An enemy has been slain.
The Jinx is just walking on me. They're just walking at me, man.
Look up to a yordle. Who you calling Will? All right.
An ally has been slain.
Who wants a piece of this?
Your team has destroyed a turret.
It's just I don't even know, man. It's so insane. This is actually depressing. Like, I cannot believe I'm playing in this game right now. I can't even believe I'm playing bad in this game right now. Like, everything that happens on the map is so random. Like, Blitzcrank is just sitting in the red side. He's just sitting in red side, camping to kill somebody a minute before Drake, who has TP, who's gonna be up anyways.
Double kill. You have slain an enemy.
Hearts beat together.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret. A summoner has disconnected.
That might have been the single worst game of League of Legends that I've ever been a part of. That was terrible. Everybody should be ashamed. Everyone should go down. Not just LP loss for everyone. Everyone should literally go down an entire rank just from that game alone. That was a silver game in plat. That was embarrassing. No honors for everyone. I should report everyone instead. What a terrible, terrible, terrible game. Just complete insanity. All right, I think it's clear that I've had enough for today. You know, it's been real. Litigus.